It's showtime. Supergirl is out, and this is the DCU's second movie in their new rebooted universe, and it's already having a rough go at the box office. I mean a really rough go. $38 million on its opening weekend. That's lower than the Marvels, which was the lowest for the MCU. Now maybe word of mouth will help it, but right now it's kind of working against it, and it's highly unlikely it will make its money back. Now you can look at this different ways. Sure, there are a lot of other movies in the lineup from James Gunn's DC universe, but the issue is, on top of this movie not doing great, James Gunn and his co-DCU lead Peter Safran already have an uphill battle. The history. DC movies have been messy for a while. Flashback to the DC Extended Universe from Zack Snyder. You start out with two box office bangers. You got Man of Steel. It made $670 million. And then its sequel, Batman vs. Superman, it made $874 million. That was the 8th biggest weekend for a movie of all time. But it also had a historically big drop by the second week via word of mouth and all the poor reviews it had. Warner Bros. Then gave us Wonder Woman, and there was hope. It made almost $1 billion. Then Justice League. Oh, Justice League. This went through so many rewrites and reshoots and redos. Zack Snyder left the project. They brought in Joss Whedon, who helped with Avengers. And what we got was just the biggest mess of a superhero movie. It should have been one of the biggest movies like Avengers, and they just dropped the ball so bad. Then Warner Bros. Shifts again and says, okay, no more team-ups. Let's just have solo superhero movies. Well, The Flash failed. Aquaman 2 didn't do great. Wonder Woman 1984, not the best. Plus, all the while, you had the Arrowverse doing its own thing, and then you have the animated universe having its own stories. It was just hard for people to follow, and rightfully so. Now, flashback to 2 years ago, DC is a joke to Marvel fans. Common audience people don't want to go see a DC movie. They'd rather choose Marvel, but even Marvel's on the decline. Superhero fatigue is set in. But then 1 year ago, we got Superman, which proved, at least to me and many others, that DC can make great movies. Now, I want to clarify, I think some of the DCEU movies are actually pretty good. I didn't dislike all of them, but it was definitely too messy. So here's the problem. You give us Superman, people are getting excited about what comes next, and then you drop Supergirl, and this was a very lackluster movie. I didn't hate it by any means, but I also didn't love it, and I barely liked it. It was more of just an average watch. When you're trying to reboot a franchise and get more than just DC fans like me to come out, you need to make a movie that it doesn't need to be glorious and like legendary, but it needs to be like a solid 7 or 8 out of 10 to get people to come out and be excited about it. And that's the thing. When you're launching a brand new cinematic universe, you don't have the luxury of giving us a movie that's just fine. And another interesting move that makes me very nervous is the next movie is Clayface. I am stoked for it personally, and a little freaked out because, just look at that. Looks pretty disturbing. I bet it's going to be great. But I don't know if that's the right move to get general audience people on board. And I wouldn't care, but we need box office to make better movies to keep the franchise going so Warner Bros. Doesn't cancel it again. But this is what makes James Gunn so awesome. The fact that he is willing to do Clayface or other out there movies. And this is one of my favorite quotes from him. He said, "There's not a company style for his movies. It's not like every movie is going to be like Superman. The artists and the directors and the writers that create each one will bring their own sense to it. We don't want people being bored." And I get that. I think it's awesome. He's not going to make everything feel like how the MCU is, but it's going to be very different based on the characters. I just don't think the general public is going to go for it. There's a reason that the MCU didn't debut Guardians of the Galaxy until basically they could put out anything and it would succeed. Not anymore, of course, but there was a time, as Marvel stamped on it, people will pay to see it. DC is nowhere near that rapport. Even staple names like The Flash and Aquaman did terrible at the box office. Either way, I do like what he's doing. The TV shows, the animated series, they're all going to use the same voice actors as in the movies. They're going to be connected. And at the end of the day, I want DC to succeed. It is just one movie. Supergirl probably won't make or break it. What do you think, though? Do you think Supergirl can make or break the franchise? Is all hope lost? Or do you think 10 years from now, DC is going to be the face of superheroes? After all, The Incredible Hulk was the second MCU movie, and it barely made money. But I still liked it. Thanks for watching this. Let me know your opinions in the comments. I want to know if you agree or disagree. Plus, selfishly, it really helps my channel. Bathroom Movie Reviews, out.